The gamosphere was recently shaken to its very core, video gamers, when it was revealed that behind closed doors, hidden from the public, Microsoft had $70 billion just lying around, apparently. $70 billion!
I believe the actual news, Brother Shu, was that Microsoft is going to use that $70 billion to acquire Activision Blizzard and all its intellectual property.
Yeah, no, Chen, I think $70 billion just existing in one place at one time is the more noteworthy event. Do you have any idea how much money $70 billion actually is, Chen? Who cares how they spend it? Spending is easy. Hoarding it in some secret back room like the dragon Smaug, that takes know-how. I mean, let alone whatever crimes against humanity had to occur for them to acquire that much money in the first place. The logistics of simply storing it all are mind-boggling.
I don't think they're actually storing the physical money on site, Brother Shu.
Hello, Chen. I'll have you know that CNBC described the acquisition as an all-cash deal. Please tell me how they plan to accomplish that without cash.
I'm pretty sure all that means is that the deal is being conducted in exchange for available money, Brother Shu, rather than stocks or outside financing. I don't think it means that Microsoft shows up on the day of the transaction followed by a mile-long caravan of semi-trailers filled with stacks of $100 bills.
What about one trailer filled with $1 million bills?
It is highly unlikely.
Well, then what's the point of being filthy rich in the first place?
It is still extremely noteworthy, Brother Shu, that Microsoft is purchasing Activision at all. In fact, I would go so far as to say that it is the single largest gaming industry acquisition of all time, because, well, it is.
Yes, very big, very impressive. You know the most impressive part? That they managed to retain the $70 billion valuation despite the fact that the only times the company has even been mentioned over the past 2 years have been shock exposés about Activision's management, like running child slavery rings or arranging human hunting safaris.
Yes, it turns out that doesn't affect stock prices all that much. Besides, many feel that Microsoft intervening may put a stop to much of the bad press, and may even herald the start of a proper redemption arc for the company.
Right, except that the same terrible people are set to remain in charge at least until the deal is finalized in 2023.
Well, yes, regulatory compliance does stall the process somewhat.
So right now, we're in Microsoft's Activision Acquisition Intervention intermission.
Yes, but once it does go through, initial response indicates that even most current Activision employees are likely to consider the deal a net positive.
So there's an Activision acquisition adulation expectation allocation.
I'm leaving.
Well, in other news, video gamers, Microsoft's press release regarding the acquisition made a point of mentioning that it would, quote, provide building blocks for the Metaverse. And if you're wondering what specifically those building blocks are, good luck finding out, because despite Metaverse being an extremely popular buzzword among corporate types these days, pressing them for an actual definition of the Metaverse really only places it on a vague spectrum somewhere between a version of VR chat with more product placement and the literal internet, like just flat out making the internet again. You don't need to buy Activision for either of those. By contrast, what the Activision purchase does move them superficially closer to is the popular conception of the Metaverse as a free-roaming cross-IP VR holodeck game like the one featured in Ready Player One, a world in which Ninja Turtles fight Ghostbusters over the Infinity Gauntlet while eating Cool Ranch Doritos, basically Dante's Inferno as sponsored by McDonald's. But most telling is that Microsoft's building blocks, as established, have nothing to do with solving any of the technical hurdles of this metaverse, which realistically is still at least 2 hardware generations and an unprecedented level of software standardization away, but rather focus wholly on the intellectual property potluck aspects of the endeavor. In short, if the Activision purchase does indeed represent Microsoft's first steps toward building a metaverse in which all fictional characters and properties across all of human history are represented, it basically just means they're planning to buy the whole world, doesn't it? A chilling thought. But we are willing to sell Arnie for a cool $1 million. Call us.
Brother Shu.
Hello, video gamer. We'd like to get to know you better.
Data mining your private tab search results just isn't cutting the mustard these days.
Hit the subscribe and notification buttons below and we'll be at your side forever.
It is exactly as creepy as it sounds.